Project Motor Racing is the next one on the list, and honestly, it looks interesting. I've been absolutely waiting for a car game since Need for Speed. Honestly, Test Drive was kind of the last one that I remember playing fully, and that one was underwhelming to say the least. Now, obviously, with Project Motor Racing, we are using, or at least I believe utilizing, the same engine of Farming Simulator, but in general, the game looks pretty standard across the board. Obviously, racing games now come with a level of professionalism, and I must admit, by the looks of it, you've got yourselves a solid amount of cars that you can kind of work with. The tracks do seem to be, from all accounts, ready and available, which is always nice. And in general, we've got two different versions. We have got the Project Motor Racing Standard, and we've also got then the Year 1 bundle. Now, it's a half and half with the bundle because I can kind of get where they're coming from, but it also goes under the same scrutiny of any sort of DLC post-launch. If you are any sort of game that is saying in a year's time, in 3 months, in 2 months, in a month, in 5 weeks and 4 days, that there's going to be more content on the game that you have got to pay for, I'm not a big fan of that. I get in-game bonuses kind of later on down the line, maybe like we do talk a year later after the game's out. Fair enough that if we know DLC's coming, then I might want to pay for it now. Make it a little bit cheaper. We'll give you that bonus up front. That's fair enough. But to have a year's pass of something, I just think is absolutely nuts when the game is not even out yet. Now, obviously, what I would suggest whenever buying games like this, if this is your first ever racing game, dare I say, if this is your first time trying to kind of go away from a certain genre of game, then fair enough. Go with the bog standard at the absolute minimum. I could see potentially this game, if it doesn't necessarily do as well. I know car games have been very, very difficult to kind of get off the ground a lot more. You might see it on Game Pass. You might see it on sale relatively quickly. And that's if the car games just in general don't perform like they used to, unless it's like literally a Need for Speed, a Forza, something very established. You just don't see them ever doing well. It just doesn't work half of the time. And I've utilized a lot of the car games, and most definitely Need for Speed and Forza definitely hold up the kind of best reputation, and the likes of Gran Turismo, which obviously PlayStation side. But whether this is a flop or not, it more than likely will be an interesting one to see so close to Christmas that it might go on sale after. It would be interesting to go with if you are not 100% to spend the £60 prior to Christmas, prior to all the other games coming out as well, which is just nuts in itself. The 84 with the 1 year bundle, I mean, you know, if you're buying this one, you know that you're enjoying this game. You're going to play this game a lot because it is a huge commitment to make sure that you are getting every worth out of it. It's obviously £24 if we round up over what the standard game is, which, to be fair, isn't necessarily out the ordinary. Like, we've seen plenty of games where it's like a 20, 30, £40 different edition. That's fair enough. I've got no arguments with that. But if you don't play it, that's when it can kind of get a little bit messy with the game, because then you kind of just threw your money away for no reason. Now, obviously, there is 70 plus recreated cars across 10 iconic classes and 27 global layouts. Cars from today's radical LMDH hypercars to the history's most iconic legends. Each vehicle is licensed masterpiece, circuits scanned for ultimate precision, authenticity. Now, that's always what we want. Car games do, like I say, they hold a pretty good standard when it comes to tracks. Normally, if it doesn't necessarily go anywhere. Ready for all, from sim races to the first time races, Project Motor Racers delivers single player, online, in-game events and packed 4-class race experience. We have simulation, refined first principle physics, new physics engine, delivers unmatched handling, realism and high fidelity FFB. Now, I'm always interested because whenever you've played a card game, you know full well that there is a difference with braking, with turning, with acceleration. There's a certain level of kind of what you have to do for each. So I'm very interested to see where this goes in comparison to like your Forza, to your Need for Speed. Is there much drift as such in this, or is it going more based on the proper realism of a car? So that's going to be very interesting and something I will kind of document whilst going through this game in November. But I do think it is an interesting one to say the least. I am going to be very much hyped to try and get another racing game out, as like I say, it feels like it's been a while. Need for Speed definitely need to get on board with it, but right now, Project Motor Racing, I'm going to say Standard Edition is going to be best, and to be honest, the year bundle, you could go get the bundle later on if you really want. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you all for the next one.